to talk about?
Right now I'm using sage for my respiratory. It's good for respiratory. It's good for a lot of things. Up until this hill here, I used to train up there. All our medicines are up there, but we can't pick them because it's a state park. But when I was at the college, I used to teach at the college, our cultural. I used to take students up there. We look for the medicines up there, and I called the manager, and she got me some little, because I used to train up there. She got me some little, she made some little like brochures for me with the names on them. And so I gave them to the kids, and they went and looked for all the medicines up there. There's a lot of our wild vegetables up there too. A lot of our wild fruits, and those are all up there. So I take the kids up there to look for these plants. And at the college we used to get, we call them tipsy now. They're like rutabagas. You know, we go and get them. The sacred hill up there, they call it Bahawakan. That was full of tipsina, and it still is. We just go up there and pick them. There's, we get a lot of sage here. We got a lot of, down the park, we could just smell, it smells really good. Sweetgrass, it's down there. And we got our singpad because singpad is like bitterroot. That's the muskrat food. So that, and the muskrat's called singpad. So we, you know, we have that here too. It's in the water, grows in the water. So we have a lot of this stuff. I grew up with my grandparents, great-grandparents telling me, my grandmother telling me, my grandfather, Papa Saul, you know, all this stuff. There's a lot of different medicines here. There's quite a bit that I learned growing up. So that's why, you know, when I teach our culture and language, I take them to these things and show them.
How do you prepare them?
Oh, we have, my grandma taught me how to can our wild berries, June berries and plums, and I got choke cherries right now. I make wojapi, you know. On there you don't use the seed, you use the hampi, you know, the juice. So I have that. We have that in the winter. And a lot of it's dried. A lot of it is dried. My grandma said too, when they would travel, our people, they would carry that with them all the time because they traveled. And then when it was time to have fresh meat, then they went out and, you know, hunted when they camped and stuff. Yeah, there was, my grandma said to her, she said when they were going down the river at, in Minnesota, that's where they were camping. That's before that war. And here, I think it was a boat coming down the river, and here they start shooting at them because they seen them there, you know, and probably thought they were wild or something, but they ended up dying anyway. So when they went to swim to that boat, they had a bunch of bags of yellow rocks. So they took those yellow rocks and they buried them right alongside the shore because they didn't know what they were. But they thought if they got caught, they're going to have that and they'll kill them too. So they buried them, and my grandma said they just left them there. So they're probably there yet if nobody found them. But stories like that, you know, my grandma used to, when she was in that Minnesota uprising, she told my grandma all that. So my grandma told us, we never wrote them down or anything. We just tell them, you know. I was telling my younger son, because he speaks, learning to speak our Dakota language, so he's more interested in that than my other two older ones. But they understand, my older ones, because my grandmother and them were still alive when they were growing up. And once in a while they'll come up with a few words. I said, you need to learn that we're losing it. So I told my kids, you have to.